Well, some much needed rainfall falling this morning. Almost an inch at the airport, 9,500ths of an inch, the biggest rain in 3 months. All of June and July, we didn't have one rainfall that was a half inch or more. Now we've had three of those just in the last week. Still behind by almost 5.5 inches of rain though. But everything in bright green here, this is an inch or more through a chunk of the metro, and then especially central Minnesota. You get to those yellow areas, that's 2 to 3 inch rainfall amounts. And of course, I'm going to rewind a bit here, go back to spring, because I think this might play a role into what's going on in Lake Superior. Of course, we know it was a wet spring for pretty much everybody, but especially northeastern Minnesota, but right over all of Lake Superior, UP of Michigan, and even on the Canadian side, most of those areas, over that huge area, the whole Lake Superior Basin, 3 to 6 inches above normal of precip, and a lot of that falling is snow in April. So some cold water, abnormally high amounts of cold water, may still be playing a role in Lake Superior's temperatures because it's way below normal. 54 degrees for the average surface water temperature right now compared to 61 is where it should be. Researchers are trying to figure out what's going on exactly, but at least that's my theory. We'll see. A lot of data to sift through on the big lake. And speaking of rainfall too, Las Vegas, why not? Yeah, it's monsoon season there. They're having their biggest monsoon in 10 years now. Of course, the whole Southwest is in a mega drought, driest in probably 1,200 years. So one little bit of moisture here in one monsoon season isn't going to erase that, but they've been seeing some pretty decent rainfall amounts throughout the Southwest. What happens in the monsoon is the heating just gets so intense by the mid to late summer that allows air to literally get sucked into the interior from the Gulf of California here, and that is some very warm, humid air. In fact, above normal water temperatures all around the Baja Peninsula and into the eastern Pacific. So that means that the air above it is very humid too, as that surface water is evaporating. So maybe that little boost of extra moisture this year helping to play a role, in addition to an abnormally strong heat dome kind of sucking in some of that air too this year. Either way, it's good news for the Southwest. Big divide in our temperatures today. Low 90s in the west, 70s here because we're going to be on the cool side of the front. Still a few spotty showers, but also a lot of clouds lingering here in eastern Minnesota. But places like Marshall will hit 91 degrees today, while we stay in the 70s in the Twin Cities. And that muggy air is going to kind of stay on our doorstep through the weekend. So occasionally muggy, but occasionally Saturday and Sunday the dew points will drop into the 50s. But it'll be kind of back and forth between 60s and 50s until I think early next week we'll see drier air finally kind of settle in a bit more. But it's going to be kind of indicative of the bigger struggle with temperatures too. The east, which had a monster heat wave last week, is going to be cooler than normal. This is the next 7 days, temperature anomalies. And basically western Minnesota into the Dakotas and then back especially to Montana above normal temperatures. These are high temperatures. You can see the 90s and 100s largely staying to the west, even getting compressed into Texas and Montana only through next week, and kind of stuck in between the cooler and warmer than normal pattern is Minnesota. So I think Twin Cities, especially in eastern Minnesota, we're going to see pretty normal temperatures. A couple degrees above at times, but I don't see 90s here. And I don't see any real cool weather though either. Except for today, because of the clouds and some showers. That is below normal, but of course it takes this kind of weather to do that. 82 Saturday, 81 Sunday. I think there'll be a little more cloud cover around occasionally Saturday, brighter skies Sunday. Not a bad weekend. And then next week, we'll have to watch Wednesday, Thursday. There is the chances of some showers and thunderstorms again, but still several days out.